As the chat still loves to get engaged. But here we go. This is a clash of the Titans. We got Noble Tweety versus Forever King, and oh my gosh, the Savage down
the names
two.
will switch. Remember, Tweety is playing Possessed. King is on Crystal.
There we go. That down two, like, almost made my heart skip a beat. How early that was. That was just a read out of the gate from Forever King.
Okay, someone say garlic ice cream. Can we ban that man real quick? Please.
I've got a 10-minute timeout
Let's move
on deck.
Tweety getting some ridiculous damage. King opting not to break. And this is pretty much going to put him in a chip situation. And they're going to trade pokes. Tweety sitting on half a bar meter going into round number 2. King on a full stick of butter. No doubt King is going to do everything in his power to switch positions. Beautiful flash parry, but just a little bit off on the timing to get a full punish from the interaction. Oh, and a clean jump in. This is going to do a lot of damage. Going to end up sacrificing some damage to switch positions. Very smart move. The down 4 coming into play here. One of the best down 4s in the game. Has crazy hit advantage. And you see Tweety going for these back ones a lot as an OP. He's trying to blow up King's flash parry, which is a very big deal.
And he's going to get knocked down here. And he should just be eating this chip.
There's really nothing else you can do. Let go of block. They don't want to get picked.
What's fantastic about this pick is that if Tweety decides to wake up with that infamous wow, that is just a savage down two. He's using it perfectly. Is if he decides to wake up with that double hitting armored overhead, if he has that armor on and lets go during the second hit, that's a full combo right there.
Oh, and just getting blown up with that, and Tweety just not willing to just sit there and take this damage. Forever King sitting on 2 bars. This is very dangerous if you're Tweety. And just like that, King taking game number 1 against Tweety. Crystalline Tremor proving to be a very strong pick against Possess right now.
Yeah, this is a pick that I've always liked on paper. That armor disrupts a lot of stuff that Kenshi tries to get going. All those demons are single hitting. And just letting go of armor on one of them gets you in immediately. And if you get on top of Kenshi with no bar, I mean, he has to hold a lot of mix from Crystalline. And King.
Well, you know what? And also at the same time, you look at it from the other point of view. Kenshi still has some of the tools to blow up the flash parry and the armor with the teleport, with the back one itself is a huge
back
tool.
one alone is.
It's a massive tool. That's all the Oki game you need right there if you're Tweety. But a beautiful flash parry and a reverse positioning, getting the back one straight to connect. And you see Tweety going for the staggers into the grab, trying something a little bit different to try and keep King on his toes and make him respect all these different options that he has. Another stagger in the grab. There's that back one we were talking about. Definitely the biggest godsend in this matchup, and Tweety much more dominant here in game number 2.
Round 2, fight.
Flash parrying out. As we've seen him start a couple rounds already, that seems to be a go-to for Forever King to try to get his opponent early, starting the round with a flash parry. But what a conversion from Tweety to get him back in the corner too.
There's that back one, just mistiming it a little bit. Goes for the EX teleport to try and get the armor, but either way, proving to be successful. And that was just so good. That entire match was all Tweety.
What a turnaround!
That was a landslide.
Pay your respects.
It looked completely different from game number 1. Just a different player showed up
There is a new
and looking very strong there.
You take a look at everything that happened in that second game, how Tweety just changed his Oki game up a little bit, went for the staggers, way more grabs in that second match. But on top of that, to be able to stuff all that armor between the down 3 into that EX overhead is really just what sealed the deal. He just, at that point, you knew Tweety was in King's head the entire game. So I have to see if King can really come back for that. Tweety looked much better than he did in the beginning.
Fight.
In that back one, King just letting go of block, getting hit by that, not to mention getting hit by that overhead, and a huge punish on the whiff down 2. And he got as much damage as he can. 40% on the dot.
And that
run up into the back grab. I agree.
And if you're Forever King, that puts it in your mind. You know, those down twos were working early in that very first game. But when one gets punched for 40%, that kind of puts in the back of your head that maybe you don't want to throw them out like you just were.
And a flawless to keep the momentum from the last game going. King needs to adjust and fast. And the back one eating the flash parry, just like we talked about. Such a brilliant tool in this matchup.
And getting the teleport in, didn't have any bar, and once again blowing up the flash parry with that back one. It's just here, one button, get out of here.
Oh, and just misses the conversion, but at this point, Tweedy's just sitting so comfortably right now. But the mix by Tremor, I mean, you can't count him out just yet, let alone when King himself is capable.
And the armor going away, barely. If King would have held on to that armor, might have been able to absorb the second part of that meter burn special and potentially get a punish, but the armor ran out right as the special move came out, and that is unfortunate. And Tweety taking these past two games so fast and adapting on the fly here and about to make it into another top 8, which is just one more to the plethora he has.
So well. After King doing so well in game number 1 and Tweety making those adjustments, that back one was everything that last game. And now going into it being up 2-1, King now locks himself in for the remainder of the set as Hishkuten Predator. He has a very mean Predator that we don't normally get to see. So this could actually work in his favor if he could bait out those EX overheads.
This was at one point in MKX competitive play. Number 1 in the scene was Forever King's HQT. I mean, back-to-back majors, back-to-back over the champ himself, Sonic Fox. He was so strong for a couple months with this character.
Smart this into play. King finally getting a little bit of zoning on his own, but the trades are always going to be in Tweety's favor. There's another back one there to try to blow up any armor attempt that King might have put out, and that's going to do it on sitting on set point after what seemed like only a minute. Going from being down 1-0 to now sitting on set point, just trying to build as much meter as possible while dishing out some damage. King on a full stick of butter. Down 3 into the laser. Gonna try, hopefully, to get something started with this cancel pressure.
And the smart disc doing the work, but Forever King not able to do his part. Yeah,
I would go out on a limb to say that King is a little bit shaken right now. I don't think he knows what to really do against Tweety's possessed. Oh, and just drops the hit confirm. That is not something you want to do when you really need this round to give yourself some sort of chance to come back. Baits out the EX overhead, has a chance. The down 2 by Tweety. And baits out the armor, or the X-ray. And Tweety taking it over Forever King. Lightning speed 3-1.
Kenshi.
And it really was a landslide after.